The big question for the past few days has really been what led an acquaintance to allegedly stab tech founder Bob Lee to death in a San Francisco street. Police say they both worked in tech, but how were they connected? Well, tonight we're learning the two may have had a dispute over the suspect's sister. Now, this is her, Sara Donchey, the sister of murder suspect and tech consultant Nima Momeni. DA Brooke Jenkins says she and Lee had some type of relationship.
It appears from witness statements that Mr. Lee is somehow a friend of this woman, and that is what the connection is between the two men.
Sara showed up to court today for her brother, and she was there with her husband, a plastic surgeon in San Francisco. A key witness in the case thinks their marriage was in trouble, but didn't know if Lee and Sara ever had an intimate relationship. Nima Momeni's arraignment was delayed. His lawyer was on vacation today, but his family had their hands together in a heart symbol to show their support. And today we learned even more about what happened in the early hours of April 4th. A lot of this is based on an account from that unidentified witness. And it all starts here at an apartment on the 1500 block of Mission Street. That's where Lee, the witness, and Sara were all having drinks around 3:30 p.m. Investigators say a few hours later, Bob Lee and the witness went to Lee's hotel. That's where the witness overheard a call between Lee and the suspect, who was asking Lee if his sister was doing drugs or anything inappropriate. The witness said that Lee had to reassure the defendant nothing inappropriate happened. The court documents say that later on, Lee showed up to Sara's home at Millennium Tower around 12:30 in the morning. Her brother, Nima Momeni, was also there. Now, at 2:03, surveillance footage shows Nima and Bob Lee leaving the Millennium Tower in the suspect's white BMW. They start driving, but stop just minutes later. The two got out of the car and talked on the sidewalk for about 5 minutes. Investigators think that's when Momeni stabbed Lee with a kitchen knife 3 times. Once in the hip and twice in the chest. A surveillance camera showed Lee looking for help as the defendant sped away in his BMW. He died at the hospital.
Mr. Momeni did leave Mr. Lee there, obviously at the scene. We then, as you know, have all viewed a video of Mr. Lee attempting to call 911, attempting to find help, and not being able to be successful with that. And so to that extent, yes, he was left to die.
Well, the court documents highlighted one important text that was later found on Lee's phone, and it was from Sara. And it read, "Just wanted to make sure you're doing okay, because I know Nima came way down hard on you. And thank you for being such a classy man and handling it with class. Love you."
What it appears from her text message is that there was some type of dispute between the two men, at least that Mr. Momeni was upset with Mr. Lee about something prior to them leaving her residence, and that she was attempting to check on Mr. Lee the following morning.
Right now, Momeni is charged with murder in the first degree, which requires premeditation, versus second-degree murder, which is a crime of passion. A legal expert told us he thinks there's evidence of premeditation.
So that kitchen knife had to get there somehow. And so the moment someone accused of murder has also thought enough to grab a kitchen knife and bring that into play in a different location, that it means they thought about stabbing this person